Whether you have an existing website or building a new site, this video explaining the basics of SEO is for you. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, which covers any activity that attempts to improve your website in search engine rankings. If you haven't done at least some basic SEO work on your site, then all the time, effort and expense will get limited traction. It's like having a retail store 5 blocks back from the main street. People won't be able to find it easily, and that makes it hard to get in front of your potential customers, giving people the only option that is to buy from someone else. You want your site up the front of the line and in the face of your customers. Stand by as I unravel the mysteries of how you can carry out some basic SEO improvements to your website. I'm going to explain the 4 main things you can do to improve your site Google rankings in just a moment. So whether you use Bing, Google, Yahoo or whatever search engine is your favourite, the job search engines have is to find the best and most relevant result for the searcher once they hit that search button. I'll be using Google in the examples for this video. So how do you make your site move ahead in search results? Some of the main ways of improving your site SEO are including keywords on the site page titles, the amount of click-throughs you get from search results to your website, the amount of time people are spending on your website that haven't hit that back button to go back to search results, the backlinks you can get from other high-ranking websites, the age of your website on-page internal links within your website, adding heading keywords, getting customer star ratings such as on Google My Business, and constantly updating the content on the site, just to name some of the main ones. So how do you get off to a good start with SEO when building a new website? If you don't have a domain name for your website, that's the www.yourwebsiteaddress.com.au, then you'll need to buy one. Try to use a top-level domain name. For instance, in Australia, choose a domain ending in .com.au as the first preference, and only choose a .com or .net or lower if you absolutely have to. Avoid using trendy domain names like .builders or .digital, for instance. Top-level domains are more trusted by people searching online and will get more click-throughs when searchers see your website in Google search results. Most businesses will just use their business name in the domain name, but you can also use a domain name that actually describes your business, like Katoomba Florist as your domain name instead of your business name, such as Botanical Art, for example. Take a baseline measurement of where your website shows in search results already. An example might be on page 2 and result number 3 in Google search results for the term you're searching for. Taking a screenshot is a handy way to record it. Search not only for your business name, but for some other key terms or key phrases that people might be typing into Google. An example might be, instead of just searching for Tamworth lawnmowers, for instance, you could search for related search terms like used lawnmowers in Tamworth, or Victor lawnmowers for sale in Tamworth, or even lawnmowers for sale near me. Make sure you're logged out of Google and have deleted your browsing history, or better still, go to someone else's house or location altogether and use a different computer with a different IP address and type in the search keywords that you expect to find for your website. Otherwise, Google will give you personalised search results, which is not a true measure of where your site is ranking online. Your personal search results will be different than other people's search results. I think once we understand the steps we go through to search online, then we can understand how other people are coming to our site. So here's a broad overview of our own online search behaviour. First, we type in our search term into Google and press search. Then we scan through the results and read the page names to see if it matches what we've just typed in, and maybe check the website country of origin. For example, is it a .com.au or an overseas site? Then we read the page description, or meta description as it's also called, before clicking through. The page description explains what the page is about and tempts us to click through. Once we've made our selection and clicked on the results, We look at the web page header image and read the headline on the page to make sure we understand the page contents. When we're convinced that we're in the right place, then we scan the page to find the information we're looking for. All of this takes about 10 to 15 seconds before we decide if this is the end of our journey on this site. So on the flip side, you'd better make sure your site is set up in these areas that I explain next. So here are the 4 battles you need to win on Google. Firstly, your site needs to get found in search results for the keywords people are searching for. Your site needs to give the people a reason to click on those results. Your site needs to stop them from clicking that back button. Your site needs to keep them on the page as long as possible. Now I'm just going to explain those 4 things in a bit more detail. The most basic way of getting good SEO rankings online is to do what is called technical SEO. There's a variety of ways to find these keywords. Type into Google the keywords you think people might be searching for and take a look at what words Google is suggesting in the drop-down, or even at the bottom of the search results page. Use a tool like Ubersuggest or Keyword Tool or even Google Keyword Planner to help find those keywords. Next, add those keywords to your page titles in the admin section of your website on whatever platform you're using. They will all have a place to add the page title and page description when you're logged into the admin back end of the site. If there is nowhere to update the text, then you'll need to add a plugin like Yoast, for instance, on WordPress, or if you can't make those changes, get your website developer to do it for you. Or worst case scenario, and that's not possible, you should change your website platform altogether. Number 2, you'll need to write a short statement for your page meta description or page description, otherwise people won't click through to your website from the search results page. If nobody's clicking through to your site, then Google can't even measure how long people are spending on there because they're not even going to your website in the first place. So getting people to click through to your site from the search results page is obviously a high priority to get higher ranking. Number 3, you need to hook the visitor to stop them from leaving your site once they've clicked through from search engine results. Next time you go to a new website, spend 1 second on the page and then close your eyes. Can you recall what the site was about? This is called the blink test. If you can't figure out what the website is about in that 1 second blink test, then something is wrong with the design or the message on that site. Get someone to check your site using the blink test method to see if you need to make some changes. If your site didn't stop the searcher at this point in under 3 to 5 seconds, then you've missed your opportunity. And people will just click that back button, or pogo sticking is what it's called, which is bad for your site's ranking, and in fact the overall effectiveness of your website in general. Google will think that the page is not relevant to the searcher's keywords or their intent. You'll be able to see how long people are staying on your page by looking at your Google Analytics if you have them set up. So once you've stopped the searcher on your page, they'll read the headline, scan quickly through your page to find what they're looking for, or click through the links to find the information they're searching for on the inner pages. So you can see that if you have a really good website and have added all those keywords to the page titles to get found, if you haven't written a meta description that gets people to click on it, then you're not even in the game. Number 4, keeping people on your site longer. One important thing is often overseen on a website is writing the sales copy to show the solution to the problem searchers are looking for. Once you know your target market or persona's problems, then you can write your sales copy to answer those problems. If they turn up on your page and all you're doing is boasting about your business, then they're going to bounce back to the search engine results. So you need to address their problems in a conversational tone which keeps them on the page longer. So you can see how copywriting is important for your SEO because it not only gets people to click through from search results by reading the page description, but also keep people on the page longer, which is a major Google ranking signal called time spent on page. If your website copy is just boasting about your business, then you'll benefit from rewriting your sales copy to be more about solving user problems in a conversational tone to help with your SEO and website conversions. Another good way to keep people on your site longer is to add a video. People are lazy and don't want to read pages of text, and why should they? Not only will a video help start a relationship with the viewer, but it keeps them on the page longer. One major note at this point: don't assume that your web designer has done all this work already. More than likely it hasn't been done. They need to compete with each other on price, so more often than not, this SEO part is not even mentioned in the build scope. Doing a site audit will show you if this work has been done. One more thing I'd like to mention with trying to move forward in Google search results page is figuring out who is your competition in that space. If you don't have much competition online in your niche, it might be quite easy to rank for terms such as Louth Hotel, especially if you're the only hotel in that town. But if you're in Dubbo, for instance, and you try and rank for the search term accommodation in Dubbo, where there's a lot of competition from the big players like TripAdvisor or What If or Bookings.com, you really have to pick your battles with them because you're not going to beat them in search results for those generic terms. But what you can do is rank in search results for other terms that they're not ranking for, like boutique accommodation in Dubbo, for instance, or child-friendly accommodation in Dubbo, or accommodation in Dubbo that accepts seniors cards, for instance. So think about some of the niche keywords people will be searching for, rather than broad search terms. You have to be realistic and pick your battles online. So just to recap, identify your target persona's problems and keywords. Add those words to your page titles. Write some compelling sales copy text and add it to your page description to get people to click on your search results. Stop people from clicking that back button by making sure the page is easy to understand and your content stops them in their tracks. And lastly, keep them on the page as long as possible so Google thinks the site is relevant to the searcher. So hopefully now you understand the basics of what SEO is all about and how you can do some simple things like technical SEO for your site. Using SEO in your marketing mix is really playing the long game, so don't expect your site to rank on Google the day after it's been launched or after you've made some changes to the site. You need to be patient and you need to be constantly improving and measuring your efforts over time, but it will be well worth it.